Hey there YouTube, NinjaNick333, finally bringing you the updated version of my Heroes deck. I've gotten quite a lot of views on that last one, I'm surprised. But this is the newer version that I've been playing for a little while now. And it's got a lot of improvements upon, like, the consistency, definitely, because before there was a lot of times when I would just open up and never have a monster for like 5 turns. And that was bad. So I definitely had to add more monsters, even if it made the Bubble Man plays less easy to make. That sounds right. So anyway, just to get into it, 1 Stratos. Because you can only have 1. I wish it was back up. Heroes aren't doing anything. Why is Stratos still at 1? Searches your deck for a hero when he's summoned. Works when he's special summoned as well, not just normal summoned. Or when he's normal or special summoned, you can pop back rows of your opponents, 1 for each hero that's not him. So I can get into a couple combos with him like that. So sometimes I prefer to pop back rows instead of adding things to hand. Bubble Man. Self-explanatory. When you have him in your hand as the only monster, you just set all the other cards in your hand and special summon him. So you can just, summon Stratos, add Bubble Man to hand, set everything but Bubble Man, special summon Bubble Man, overlay Excalibur, double detach, Miracle Fusion, yada yada. So, before I think I just had him at 2. He's up to 3 now, just because I need more monsters, and, there's not too many times where I just have 2 Bubble Man in my hand, and I want to scream at the world. But 3 Alias, because he's still just a great beater, and since he's Gemini, the effect we don't care about, we always leave him as a normal monster because of Gawain. You could special summon him in defense mode from your hand when you control a normal light attribute normal monster, a normal light monster. So Alias. So there's a lot of times where I go and I summon Alias and then I special summon 2 Gawains and go into Shockmaster. It happens, And then, plus he's a beater on his own, if you just have to, because he's 19, just like the Alias. He just has no defense. And then a Photon Thrasher for those times when I don't have a monster, and I can just special summon him. Then normal summon the Stratos and search for the Bubble Man and set all my cards in hand as back rows and special summon the Bubble Man and overlay into Shockmaster. So, that's it for monsters. So I definitely upped it. I don't remember what it was at last time, but 11 now. So I broke the 10 mark. Next, staple spells. Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm. Not 1, not 2, but 3 MSTs, because we don't like back row unless it's our own. Then search cards, 1 Rhoda, because we can only have 1. 2 E-Calls, because we can only have 2. All of that stuff is just self-explanatory. Then for fusion stuff, 3 Miracle Fusions, because there's always a time when you have heroes in the graveyard. Because a lot of times I'm just making Excalibur. His effect, you detach 2 monsters. So then there's the 2 you need for like Shining or Absolute Zero right there. And then 1 Super Poly. I like Super Poly, but the thing is you have to discard a card from your hand. I don't care that it's a minus. I really don't care because it works a lot. But the problem is you need to discard a card. And if you do this after a Bubble Man play, you don't have any cards in hand. So that's usually the problem. And then to round it out, 2 Lances, because since I don't always get a lot of monsters on board and I'm usually just pushing to OTK a lot, or to 2 turn kill or whatever, I want to protect my monsters. And that's what the Lances are for. So if they get a guy that's bigger than them, I reduce the other guy's attack, so I get over them, or I just protect them from stuff like Dark Hole Heavy, Dark Hole, and what the like. That's it for spells. Then for traps, I've got 2 Compulse, just because Compulse is my favorite, like, removal trap card ever. Because whenever, like, somebody will go into Zen mains and think it's safe, and I'm just like, Compulse. They're like, well, crap. Zen mains goes back, and the materials, that's probably Tour Guide, are, in the grave now. And they just wasted that Tour Guide play, you know. Also, apparently with the E-Dragons that just came out, they can only use their effects once per turn, so you can compulse some back to the hand and not have to worry about them until next turn. You know, just stuff like that. That's why I like Compulse. If they normal summon something, you can put that back in their hand, and they wasted their normal summon. They can't do anything. Then 2 Bottomless. Everything's special summon these days, and everything's bigger than 15. And nobody likes their stuff removed. I don't really mind it too much, actually, but because I have Shining, but I'll get to that. Then 2 Deep Prison, because, again, I like to protect my monsters, so I'll just banish theirs. Like Grapha, I hate Grapha. That, I just get rid of it. Deep Prison. Then 2 Mirror Force, again, protecting my own stuff. 2 Torrential, again, just protecting my own stuff. This has to kill my own guys, but the thing is, usually I'll just use Torrential if I have just, like, an Alias, and then they do, like, a wind-up thing, getting out a lot of stuff, or it's 6 Sams, just special summoning their whole hand, or Mermails, special summon a whole bunch of stuff. No, I'm just gonna wipe the board clean and go back to my turn in Stratos, Bubbleman, Excalibur game. Then not 1, but 2 Starlight Roads. There are games where I get both of them off. The reason it is 2, though, is so that I can see it every game. Because, again, I'm setting my whole hand for Bubbleman, so I want to protect myself from Heavy Storm. Also, if I have Excalibur Shining on field, my opponent is probably going to Dark Hole me. Again, that's protecting 2 monsters. Then the 1 Warning, 1 Judgment. I don't like Judgment because you have to pay half your life points, but without 2 warnings, you have to have the 1 Judgment in there. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is. Extra deck. Got not 1, but 2 Shinings. Usually use both of them in a game, because somebody will remove it at first. He gets 100. Was it 100? Or is it 3? I can't remember. 300. It's been a while. It's 300 cents, 300 points of attack more for every banished hero you have. So if you're playing like Macrocosmos, you don't give a crap. Every time you fusion summon, you're using Miracle Fusion, so he's instantly 3,200 if you use 2 heroes. If you use, like, say, Stratos and Photon Thrasher, then it's only 29, but still pretty big. Let's see. Then we've got 1 Great Tornado. You can make it with Stratos as the wind. I'll do that when my opponent has a lot of big stuff, like back when wind-ups were still big. You know, you summon this, cut the attack points of everything they have. I don't care that they have a lot. I'm bigger than all of them. Nova Master, he's just for Super Poly. You know, for general, Dino Rabbits, Zen Mains, Fire Fists, Fire Kings, whatever. It's great. When it destroys a monster per battle, draw a card. So that's just an instant plus. I love when I'm able to use his effect. I just love it. Because again, never have any cards in hand. Then Escurideo, again, for the Super Poly. I don't like him as a card, but I like that he is a card, you know? Just because then I can fuse with Darks. And then 1 Absolute Zero, make him with Bubble Man. If I'm really fearing that my opponent has some sort of destruction spell like Mirror Force, I'll go into him as opposed to Shining on some occasions. Just so that I can wipe their own field along with it. Like, say they have monsters and I know that they have a Mirror Force down, I make him an attack. So either they don't want to make their monsters destroyed, or they don't want their monsters... Either way, their monsters are getting destroyed, basically. Which is why I like him. And then Gaia, just for the Earth and Super Poly. He can cut a guy's attack points in half and give them to him for the turn. So, that's always pretty cool when you get that off. For Synchros, just one Stardust Dragon, that's it. Even though I'm playing 2 Starlight Roads, and even if I do get them both off in a game, if I really need the second Stardust, I'm already screwed anyway. So there's no point in wasting my precious extra deck space on a second one, when I definitely need to run all of those fusions, and I need to run a bunch of Xyz monsters. So for the Xyz, we got Photon Pappy Operative. Not that hard to say, guys. I know a lot of you have trouble pronouncing it. Just sound it out. Photon Pappy Operative. It's a Y instead of 2 L's because it's French. A papillon is a butterfly in French or something like that. I don't know. I nearly failed French. It was like a 65 on my final exam, and I needed that to get the credit for high school. So, yeah, flip stuff up, run them over. Love using that on Marshmallons. It's hilarious. And Spirit Reapers. 1 Blade Armor Ninja, because I can't play a warrior deck without a ninja, because I'm Ninja Dick 333. Plus, he's amazing. Can do 4,400 damage direct in a turn, because you detach 1 and he can attack twice. Then 1 Starliege Paladynamo. He is amazing. You can make him easy because you have Thrasher, 3 Gawains, and 3 Ilias. So there's definitely games where you can make him. Is it detached 2? Yeah, it's detached 2 materials, and your opponent's monster goes to 0 attack and its effect is negated. So then you can just run it over with him. And then if this guy is destroyed, you draw a card. And that's my favorite, probably my favorite part about him. Then after that is 1 Gawain, or Gandiva, sorry. 1 Heroic Champion Gandiva. That used to be Black Ship until I put it in my Fire Fist deck. He's great because if your opponent special summons a level 4 or less monster, detach and destroy those monsters, you know, with parentheses around the S. Monster or monsters. So, if they rabbit and get 2 materials, you can just get the 2 monsters. Then you can detach 1 and destroy both of them. Kind of like a bottomless trap hole kind of thing, except they're just sent to the grave. Then Shockmaster, there's so many ways to make this first turn. It's ridiculous. And any chance I can, I will make Shockmaster. There's actually games where I've gone Excalibur, Shockmaster, in first turn. Then for the Excaliburs I keep talking about all day, 2 Excaliburs. Detach 2 becomes 4,000. Not much to say. So like some of the combos you can do is you'll have, like I said, you'll have the Stratos in hand and just spell and traps. So it's like, okay, normal summon him, add Bubble Man to hand, set all your other cards in back row, special summon Bubble Man. Then overlay for Excalibur, detach the 2 materials. So now he's 4K. Then say one of your face downs, this is a way to OTK. Say one of your face downs is Monster Reborn. Flip it up and activate it. Bring back Stratos. Stratos searches for Bubble Man. You don't have a hand. Special summon Bubble Man. Overlay. Excalibur number 2. Detach 2. He's 4K. Attack, attack, game. Or instead of making the Excalibur, you can make the Blade Armor Ninja. That's more than game, because that's 8,400. A lot of the times, the way I just open up is go Stratos, search, Bubble Man, set your whole hand, special summon Bubble Man, overlay Excalibur, detach the two materials, make him 4K, then flip up your face down Miracle Fusion, and make Shining. And that's almost game, because that's 4K and 3,200. So they're at 800 after this. So that's something that happens a ton with this deck. And then some other kind of stuff that I'll do is, let's say I opened up let me find all the cards for it first. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, don't worry. Okay, so say this is the hand I opened up. I mean, this isn't going to happen a lot, but say I open up Alias, Gawain, Thrasher, Rhoda, Stratos, and Miracle Fusion. This has happened before. It just doesn't happen a ton. What you do? Special summon Thrasher. I'll probably have to zoom out a little bit for this. Special summon Thrasher. Now this is left in your hand. Then you can choose to either search with him, or search with him, or search with, or summon him. Summon him or summon him. I would, in this case, summon him. Why? Because then you can special summon Gawain, since you have a normal monster. Then you can use Reinforcement of the Army, which searches for any warrior, so you can summon another Gawain. So now you have two Gawains. And actually, let's say instead of that Stratos, it was E-Call. Just for poops and giggles. So let's say that last, so now the last two cards in your hand, let's say, are these. Activate E-Call. Search your deck for Bubble Man. Now this is your field, and this is your hand. Set, face down. This is the only card in your hand. Special summon. Now, overlay those and these. 4. Shockmaster and Excalibur. Detach the 2 from Excalibur. He goes to 4,000. Activate your face down Miracle Fusion. Banish these 2, a hero and a light, for Shining. Do Shockmaster, call traps, game. And that's just one of the most ridiculous combos that the deck can accomplish. If instead of that if that was the Stratos instead of the E-Call in the hand, like I was originally going to do, and then realized it wasn't going to work because I'm stupid, you could, the way it would end up was, instead of being able to special summon the Bubble Man, you would be able to have an Excalibur, and you'd either be able to have like 2 Excaliburs and the Shining instead, because you would have only had 4 monsters. The way I did it the other way is to make sure you have a Shockmaster to ensure your game. But you could have this. I have had this happen a lot using other combos, but those are the general ones. So, you know, comment, rate, like, subscribe, whatever. Tell me what you guys think. It's really fun, honestly, to play this kind of a deck. It's just still, you can open up the nuts or you can open up the craps. And even if you open up the nuts, if your opponent has a Mirror Force and you don't have the Shockmaster or the like Starlight Road and stuff, it's not doing you any good. So, see you guys later.